Dashes. Dashes are great. They indicate a complete and abrupt break from the thought. So the first way dashes can be used is for emphasis. Take a look here. Example, used for emphasis. Here we go. After 30 long years of hoping and dreaming, the man finally visited his paradise. Dash, Hawaii. So this dash sets up Hawaii apart from the rest of the sentence and provides emphasis. It would read something like this again. After 30 long years of hoping and dreaming, the man finally visited his paradise. Hawaii. So dashes can also be used to emphasize information in the middle of a sentence as well. In this case, you would use two dashes, one at the front and one at the back. Take a look. Dashes. Example, emphasis in the middle. Everything in the movie, dash, from the date to the ride home, dash, reminded him of their first date. So again, everything in the movie, from the date to the ride home, reminded him of their first date. See how I read that? It kind of sets apart this area right here. It's also important to recognize that this information is not needed. So the information between the dashes from the date to the ride home is not needed. It's excess. So if I were to take it out and read from here to here without it, it would say something like, everything in the movie reminded him of their first date. You don't need this part, but it is clarifying, it does help, and it does set this apart using dashes, so you can add the middle information, and it kind of again reads like this. Everything in the movie, from the date to the ride home, reminded him of their first date. Dashes can also emphasize what's called a modifier. In other words, it can add information to a noun, modify a noun. Let's take a look at how that works. So, dashes. Example, modifier for a noun. Here it is. Danny, dash, his chin held high, dash, walked onto the playing field. The information in the middle of the dash, his chin held high, doesn't need to be there. You could just say, Danny walked onto the playing field. But this information modifies Danny. So looks something like this. Danny, his chin held high, walked onto the playing field. Use two dashes to set it apart and emphasize it. So that's the gist of it. There are a few more ways to use dashes, but for now, let's just focus on those. Go back and look at your essay. Where in your essay might you be able to use a couple dashes? Or one? Depends on what you want to do. Take a look. Let's get them in.